So shout out to the Shake Squad, 90 Gang Stand Up, it's your boy Shake, and welcome to part 2 of my NBA 2K20 Ultimate Wish List. Part 2 is actually centered around gameplay and some things that I'd like to see fixed or added to NBA 2K20. 2K really needs to fix the screens for NBA 2K20. It wasn't so much that the stretches could shoot over almost anybody in the game that was the big problem, but it was a huge problem for the defender going around those screens. The biggest issue is when a screen is set, it can be behind the defender and literally suck the defender behind the screener. And it's just the worst feeling when you're playing good defense that you get pulled in a totally different direction against your will. Feels like your controls are useless. What's happening with those screens? It's literally pulling you behind the screener. You're going under the screen when you don't want to. 2K has struggled with the big man for years. 2K15 to 16, you had 7-foot, 300-pound players doing momentum dribbles and cheesing dribbles behind their back and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Now it's the lightning fast, quick release. I think that bigs shouldn't have access to the lightning fast release. They shouldn't have the LA base. They shouldn't have base 11, base 8, whatever equates to the fastest releases in the game. The bigs should not have that. If you're a big ass 6'11", 7-foot player, you do not get a quick release like you're some guard like Steph Curry. That was half the reason why the stretch was so OP this year. He could just hide behind a double screen, and as soon as that defender hits the screen, he's in an animation. You can now pull up lightning fast, nobody to contest you. They need to fix the dive on the ball animation and give us some new diving save animations as well. Too many times you dive on the ball, your man then has to sit up before you call timeout, and during that animation you go out of bounds. There's like one diving save animation and it's extremely rare. We need some sideline animations where guys can save the ball and keep it in play. Those kind of things are important. Did you know that only one player can put his hand up to contest the jump shooter? You have to use the right stick to put your hand up to contest the shot. But let's say one player's trying to shoot over two, and two players, both of them don't want to jump all out of the way, they want to put a hand up. Only one defender at a time can put his hand up to contest that shot. It's extremely unrealistic. A lot of times I'm yelling at my teammates like, yo, put a hand up. And they're like, I did, I used the right stick. But they didn't realize that one of their teammates on defense put a hand up as well, and you're just left standing there because you can't put your hand up. You can't tell your teammate, I'm gonna jump and you put your hand up. That doesn't work like that. This reminds me of the old Madden football games where only one defender could interact with the ball carrier. 2K, can you allow ball handlers to be able to cross the CPU up in my career mode? It's like one of the worst feelings in my career mode, knowing you can never cross the CPU up. Never. He's always going to bump you. He's always going to be in front of you. You have to cheese the momentum behind the back move to try to get an ankle breaker to get yourself freed up. You can hardly ever get past the my career CPU. It's almost incredibly impossible. And it just kills my career mode. It never was like this in the past. You can do a couple of hesitations in a crossover and shake your defender. You just cannot do that at all in NBA 2K19. I have a theory. It's either the human body is made out of rubber in NBA 2K or the ball is a ping pong ball. Because if you deflect the pass, it's going 90 feet the other way and you can't catch it. When a basketball hits human skin, it doesn't ricochet and pick up speed and then travel 70, 80 feet down the court or flying out of bounds. Unless you're spiking it like a block shot, that should not happen. Pass deflections need to stay in bounds more often than not. I think 2K needs to stop trying to fix the left and right cheese. They need to just give the power to the defender. If I know you're left-right cheesing me, if I shut down your left and you go left, you should get bumped and potentially lose your dribble if you're a stretch and you have like low ball handle. Left-righting behind screens was a staple for NBA 2K19. It's the thing that literally ruled the day for most of these guys who think they're nice. Stop trying to fix the dribble. Just allow the defender to hedge him and control which direction he's going in. If he starts left-righting, play up on him, make him pick up his dribble. You ever see a big man in the NBA out on the perimeter trying to dribble on some guard who's got good defense? He has to pick the ball up. 2K, you need to fix the latency on jump shots and free throws. It's way too inconsistent, especially at the free throw line. I've shown videos where as you release the ball's way in the air and the meter's still filling, and then it goes green like a half second later. Latency is a big issue, especially in the JRC. And I think that might have something to do with all those fake games going on in the background. I think you should allow us to change our animations while we're in our MyCourt so we can practice our jump shots. I shouldn't have to leave my MyCourt, get into an elevator, which makes no sense, to go outside into the neighborhood, then change my animations, get back into the same elevator, which you already know I'm going to my MyCourt. Why else would I be going in there? Get back to my MyCourt and then be able to change and use a different jump shot. You should be able to change your animations while you're at your MyCourt. That's ridiculous. So now we're gonna switch things up a little bit and talk about things I'd like to add. And since we were already talking about MyCourt, we need to add a pass jump shot machine in our MyCourt. Everyone remembers 2K18, you had that jump shot machine in the prelude and it was helping you decide on what jump shot to use. Why not have that in our MyCourt? Instead, we get the mini basketball arcade in our MyCourt. How does that even make sense? How about this? We need to have takeover mode practice in our MyCourt. I don't know, I just think it would be cool to practice some of my newfound abilities while in takeover mode, like momentum dribbling, post scorers like to do those illegal post moves. You know, all of those kind of things would be pretty cool to practice while in my MyCourt, just practicing takeover. I'd like to have the option to intercept passes as opposed to randomly deflecting them. I think it would be pretty easy. Allow us to hold X as opposed to just tapping X in the passing lane. If you have a wide open opportunity to catch the ball, I'd rather be able to do that as opposed to 2K deciding for me to smack the ball out of bounds. And it can be a high risk reward type of defensive play anyway. If you choose to catch it, it might put you way more out of position than if you would have tried to deflect it. I'm just tired of deflecting passes out of bounds when I know in real life he would have caught it. Another one I've been asking for years is Lob Posterizers, but I would also like Putback Posterizers. Lob Posterizers and Putback Posterizers are a part of basketball, and it's a slasher's dream to catch the ball off the rim and dunk on whoever's under the rim still down there. Same thing when lobbing it up in the air, there's traffic. Why can't you just mocap a guy catching it and dunking on somebody? Lob Posterizers, Putback Posterizers, they happen so often in the NBA. It's been happening for years. It's some of the best highlights in basketball. Why is it not in 2K? And while we're at it, same thing with flashy pass lobs and lobs off the backboard. Lobs off the backboard have gotten harder and they've been toned down and it's way more random than it's ever been. This might be a little bit outlandish, but I'd like to have the controls to hang on the rim. If you're gonna dunk it with two hands, you should be able to hold maybe right trigger and keep your man swinging on the rim. I think it would add more fun to the game. We do it in real life. Guys at the park, we dunk with two hands. If you dunk with two hands, you're gonna swing on the rim. And they do it in the NBA too, just to embarrass the defender. If you do it in a MyCareer game, it should definitely lead to attack. Pushing was a really bad idea. Wish they would have guys like me in the boardroom more often to show you why that would be a bad idea and how the community would exploit it. Like 2K likes to do things on their own and just try to figure things out. But flagrant fouls are a real thing. I'd like to have flagrant foul controls on defense. Obviously, if you do it twice, you can get thrown out of a game, but sometimes it's a great way to relieve some stress. Some guy's cheesing you or some guy's doing some stuff in the paint. Maybe you just want to flagrant foul somebody. Maybe you do it by double tapping X or double tapping Y with the right trigger. I don't know, but it would be really cool to purposely flagrant foul somebody in the JRC on the park. And it would be a foul, but if you do it more than once, maybe get thrown out of the game. I don't know, but I think it would be dope, a really good addition to NBA 2K20. In walk-on and Team Pro-Am games, because I just don't want to mention JRC. JRC was just too boring this year. But can we please choose who inbounds the ball, especially in late game situations? Sometimes I hate it when my stretch or key shooter is inbounding the ball that we need to hit that big shot. And a lot of times I'm a playmaker. And I would like to take the ball out because I'm the best passer. Maybe I can use my dimer when I make that pass on the inbound, or I can even lob it to a player cutting to the basket. I have the best pass rating on my team. I'd like 2K to make it less scripted in the paint. And obviously all the posterizers are mocapped. And if you get caught in a posterizer, you're literally on a rail. I mean, you're just standing there and all of a sudden you're locked into this animation that's gonna happen. I'd really like 2K to expand on that, try to add some more physics. I'd like to just dunk on people with almost any build. It could just happen because there's real physics in the paint. It would make for more spectacular plays, more randomness, and some of the best posterizers wouldn't be so common anymore. And last but not least, this is just personal, but hats, tattoos, and headbands for scanned YouTubers. I just felt like I was left out when it came to all the cool hats that you guys could wear, the glasses, You know, I couldn't put any tattoos on any of my players because I had a real life scanned face. And I get it, I got a scanned face, so I have my real hair, my real face, so maybe I can't put certain things. But I just think it's kind of weird that I can't wear a hat and I can't even put new tattoos. My arms are not connected to my face. I mean, I can't put tattoos on my player. Couldn't even wear a headband, man. I mean, I don't know, man. It just felt like I was left out. My list is obviously longer, but we don't want to make an hour-long video. I'm sure you guys have a lot of things that you would suggest for 2K to fix or add into NBA 2K20 as well. Put that list down below. I can share this with 2K, the dev teams, as time progresses and we get closer to 2K20. Whether you agree or disagree, I would love to see some of your ideas. It's your boy Shake. As always, smack that like button if this video made sense. Subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.